Three, two, one. This is Nick,
And this is Amanda.
and this is the Performance Plate Podcast, where we give you bite-sized bits of information based on nutrition and exercise science to improve your overall performance. Back to another episode of the Performance Plate Podcast. And on this episode, we are going to talk about how to travel successfully while not on a diet, but while having restrictions, we'll say.
Yeah, or maybe not even having restrictions, but just in a healthy way. Like, how do you
Yes.
travel in a healthy way and find balance over vacation?
That's a better way to phrase it. Yes.
Yeah.
Because we all struggle with that, to be honest. It's like, oh, how do I find balance? Like, I don't want to, as some people say, go off the wall and whatever, and be bloated all the time and do all this stuff. So it's like,
Yeah.
how do I-
Well, so before we get started, tell us about a time that you went on vacation and you felt like you had really great balance.
uh, I want to say the one that comes to mind, I don't know why this is, but recently when Leanne and I went to Chicago, I don't know why, but I just remember like everything was good. Like had normal like maybe it's because we were eating at like fancier restaurants and the food quality was much
The food
higher.
quality.
That could have been. I think it was I also want to say it was pure relaxation. Like we literally just did everything that we wanted to do. I mean, yes, it was like itinerary based, we'll say, but like all of it was like walking. We went to the spa, we went to like the bathhouse, um, more walking. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's why too, like a balance of just everything. It's either then, because I never felt bloated, I didn't feel weird or anything like that. Even when I ate like tacos, because we were right next to a taco place and ate them at 2 a.m. Because why not? And or when I go to Cape Cod. Cape Cod, I always feel pretty balanced too because you have an Airbnb, so it's kind of a house, so you feel comfortable cooking some of your meals. You can definitely always get your veggies in because like you snack on them at the beach or like if we're like hiking or on a bike ride, we'll bring snacks with us that are like vegetables, stuff like that. So because a lot of the stuff in at least Cape Cod, a lot of it, the dinners are fried and all that stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
that balance gets a little tough sometimes where you feel that it's not even it's just that heaviness of the fried foods. It weighs on you, you know?
Well, yeah, they're hard to digest. Our body doesn't necessarily love them.
Exactly. What about you? Do you have I feel like recently you've been traveling all the time, so this is probably just your norm.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, I mean, especially coming from a place of being unable to enjoy vacation
Mhm.
because I was so concerned about what I was eating and what would happen that week.
Yeah.
So now it's like, this beautiful new world. But I have to say one of my favorite ones was Italy.
Mm.
Um, because I was able, I mean, it's the best food ever. And it
That's what I
was,
hear.
yeah, I had been like tracking a bunch at that point and I was in a really good spot. So I think I was just super present throughout it. And I
Mhm.
just truly enjoyed all the food that I was eating and had this moment of like, wow, this is how good life can feel,
Yeah.
So I think of that.
I think what happens too is like you said, and even I noticed it when I said it, it's not it's the relaxation, the stress of like just taking that out of there, not worrying.
Hmm.
And that's what the whole point of us doing this one is to try and help people not worry so much about
Right,
X,
right.
Y, and Z because
Yes.
that's what makes it worse. You know
I
what I
want to
mean?
start off with that. Yeah.
We we talk about things and we make it worse on ourselves and we don't have to. It's like it doesn't have to be that bad.
Yeah. I mean, you think about the point of a vacation first off, like
Mhm.
it's to relax and to get away from everyday life and tasks. How many people come back from a vacation and they say, damn, I need a vacation from that vacation?
Yes. Uh-huh. It's
Yeah.
not good. That's not
Right.
it's not ideal.
Right. So the thing is, like, if someone is already living in an all or nothing space,
Mhm.
they're probably going to go from very restricted, very
Mm.
tense, very regimented routine to
Mhm.
a vacation of fuck it,
Yeah.
all out, anything they want,
Mhm.
and then also doesn't feel good. So
Mm-mm.
they don't come back feeling refreshed.
Yes.
That's it in the most extreme light.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, so before even getting into like tips and tricks, be intentional about what you're doing. So when you think about vacation, what is it that you want to experience when you go? Do you want to meet new people? Do you want to spend some quality time with your family? Do you want to have good conversation? Do you want to try new food? Do you want to exercise in a new place? I
Mm.
personally love doing that, like at the beach and
Yeah.
finding like outdoor places.
Mhm.
Um, so what is it that you want out of that experience first and foremost? And now if you are in a place where maybe it's necessary for you to stay away from certain foods in order to help your body get healthy and do its thing, or you're in a fat loss phase and
Mhm.
you're trying to achieve a certain goal and you need to be a little bit more regimented, ask yourself, do I necessarily need to consume like copious amounts of alcohol and all of these different foods in order to have good conversation, in order to, go out, in order to be in a new place and, try new things? Like, do I need to over consume and overindulge and go all out in order to have the experiences that I want? That's one of the
Yeah.
most powerful questions.
I think that's a very good point, because of it's almost like you're developing a plan, but you really don't have a plan. It's just kind of knowing what you want to get out of your vacation.
Right.
What do you really want? Like if you want to meet new people, okay, that may involve going to, let's say the people you want to meet are people that go out to eat and all of that, and that's fine to do. Just know what you want to do. If you're someone who likes out, like you said, you like working out in new places. We're similar in that aspect. We like hiking and all that. We'll do those things.
Mhm.
We'll plan our vacations around that, but we want to make sure we get those things in, and that'll make us feel better. And it's this crazy thing when you don't stress out about certain things, how naturally your digestion
Right.
and everything starts to flow nicely, and you just feel better because you're giving your body what you wanted and intended to give
Right.
it, instead of just like, oh, I don't want
Right.
to drink all the time with my friends, but that's what they're gonna do. Well, you can
Right.
say no. You can have like three
Right.
drinks, feel good, and then move on with your day and do something else, or just stop drinking and drink water or juice or whatever
Right.
you
And
want.
I think too, it depends on like what lesson it is that someone's learning at that time. So like
Mhm.
if someone is coming from a restricted place and say they do go out and drink one night more than they would like to, or they eat something they wouldn't have, they that wouldn't have liked to, do they necessarily feel that bad?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, do
you
I
shouldn't.
actually feel that bad right now? Or is it like this guilt that's
Mhm.
coming over me and me projecting this, you know?
Most
So
likely the guilt, most likely.
yeah.
But
Not
you're
all
right.
the time because
Yes.
sometimes there are, again, it depends on the scenario, and that's why
Mhm.
it's so individual. But even in a case where it's like, say someone has like celiac or something like that and they eat gluten on accident,
Yeah.
okay, like sitting in that and saying, oh my God, why did I do this? Oh my gosh, I feel so miserable, isn't going to
Mhm.
help. Telling yourself that you feel better will help. It
Yeah.
will not solve the whole issue, but at least you're not sitting in those feelings of like crap.
Mhm.
uh you said something else there too, though. I think oh God, what was it?
It was, well, we were saying how like you don't you want to find like, let's talk about the rest and relaxation aspect, and
Yeah.
just giving your body what it needs, and those things as well will just naturally help your digestion.
Oh,
And like you were saying too, it's not the end all be it all to help yourself, to say to yourself, "Oh, I feel better." Yes, if you have celiacs and you ate gluten, and just saying, "Oh, I feel better," is not going to fix it. But there's that guilt that comes along with like, "Oh, I made that stupid mistake," and then it lingers with you. It could linger with you all day, and like you can let it ruin your whole travel experience, because it's like Monday. Let's say that's the first day you were there, and then it just ruined, you keep festering on it, like, oh, I'm scared. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Like, what if my stomach's upset? Blah, blah. It's like, hold on, take a step back,
yeah.
drink a bunch of water, do
Yeah.
do what you need to do, and then set yourself on a good path and just redevelop your plan, and don't stress out too much about that.
Uh-huh. And here's the other thing too, and this is something that commonly happens, is someone's trying to be more present. They're
Mhm.
actively trying to really enjoy where they're at, but they are having so much trouble doing it.
Mhm.
So then it stresses them out more because they're like, oh my God, I'm not enjoying my vacation as much as I should be.
Yes.
Right? There's that word should.
Yeah.
Um, and in that scenario, you got to step back and you got to recognize that it's just an opportunity
Mhm.
to break the cycle that you're in.
Yeah.
So rather than judging yourself and being frustrated with yourself, okay, how can I learn from this? What am
Mhm.
I, gaining from this situation right now? What is it teaching me about myself and about how I feel on vacation and what I like to feel? And what needs to change from now till next time in order for that to happen? Like
Mhm.
sometimes, there are vacations that, maybe someone goes on where they're not in this place where they can totally enjoy it yet. So
Mhm.
it's more of an opportunity for learning and growth, um, without judgment, so that the next vacation that comes around will be that super awesome, present, everything that they want out of that vacation type thing.
Yeah, totally. And that's a huge factor of where you're trying to learn things. And as you get vacation more, we could say, with these not all or nothing mindsets of like, because we've all been there where it's like, it's vacation, do what you want. And it's true. It's vacation, do what you want. But if you're going to make yourself feel guilty about it, then you're not learning from that experience. Like,
Well, also, like, what do you actually want?
exactly. Well, that is the thing. Yeah. Like, that's
Like,
like, it's true.
yeah, I mean, I don't know what that is. I think it's like a societal thing too.
Like,
Vacation should be like all out things that you don't normally, I don't know. I guess I
it's
honestly, I
hard.
think,
But the main thing is we have to remember that we're human at the end of the day. We're going on vacation to enjoy ourselves and
mhm,
whatever that may look like. And it can be literally going whatever you're doing, but you have to, like you said, understand that maybe this is a lesson. Maybe I don't need to go all out because it makes me feel terrible.
right. What's
That's
gonna,
that's
yeah,
the point. Like we're trying
what's
to say to
gonna,
you, what do you do you want to feel terrible on vacation? Like
what's gonna allow you to have the richest and best experience on
yes.
vacation?
Yes.
Because if you're not feeling great, are you actually enjoying
Hmm.
vacation?
Yeah, it's true. It's like the best example I could give is because when we were in Cape Cod this week, I don't drink. I cut out my morning coffee, which you're very proud of me for doing. However, so when we were in Cape Cod for the week, I wanted a morning coffee because all I wanted to do was sit by the water because we were on water in the lake
Yeah,
and have coffee next to the water. Now that the point being is like Amanda and I are saying is that's what I wanted.
I
It had
love doing that too. Yeah.
exactly. It had nothing to do with like, oh, I need my caffeine. I need to get up in the morning. It's like, no, I feel fine. And even Leanne said to me, she's like, wait, you don't drink coffee in the morning. I was like, but I want my coffee next to the water. That's what, and it's not a problem. It's just something I wanted. And I didn't feel guilty about it because of it's what I wanted to do at that for vacation. I was like, this is awesome. What's better to me right now than sitting down at 6 a.m. when it's because it was cool out. So like a nice
Yeah.
hot cup of coffee while the wind's blowing and you're just watching the waves and animals do whatever the heck they're gonna do and
Yeah.
chickens and all that stuff. I'm like,
So
yes, this is
peaceful.
great.
Yeah, I know. That's something like I was even in South Carolina with my family, and both my parents are big coffee drinkers. So I
Hmm.
was like, I can't wait to enjoy a cup of coffee with you, even if I don't always, normally drink it on a daily basis.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, that's like a really good example of just it doesn't, you're not, you don't have to go on vacation and be super freaking strict in order
Hmm.
to stay on route towards your goals, unless of
Hmm.
course you're like competing.
Yes.
Um,
Different story.
right. Or there was like a medical issue going on. But for the majority of people, there is a balance there and it's a practice. You
Mm.
might not get it on the first try, but just try to learn every time you do go away and try to do it before you go on vacation. So do it over the weekend when the
Hmm.
stakes aren't as high.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, when you're out with friends or you're at like a birthday party or you're at, I don't know, wherever you are over your weekend.
Hmm.
How can I do all or something versus all or nothing?
Hmm. Yes. And so give people, let's say you're, because just to be less vague, let's
Yeah.
say you're on track, like your goal is to have body recomp slash you're in a slight deficit, all that aspect of it. And you said all or something. So, because I know you do a very good job coaching people through this aspect of vacations and how to plan accordingly and what to expect. So, like, let's say you're one of those people who are kind of, you have these goals you want to reach by, let's say, the end of the year. And it's just something so simple as like just little body recomps or whatever. Like, and you have two huge family vacations coming up. What
Hmm.
what does that look like as a all or to somebody, like what does that look like all or something? Is it
Hmm.
something so simple as, okay, I know my family goes out to eat every single night while we're on vacation. So it's you making sure your protein goals are there.
Hmm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, no, I do. And it's a good question. So the first thing is like planning.
Mm,
If then statements are one of my favorite things to use. If this happens, then I will. So
mm,
you have like triple backup plans. If we go out to eat, then I will do this. If
mm,
we, if there's no options for me, then I will do this. Like, so for example, if you were going out to eat and someone was maybe in a fat loss phase, if we go out to eat, I will look at the menu beforehand and decide on what I'm going to get beforehand. There
nice.
you
Yeah.
go. Make it fit
Simple.
into your macros, and then the rest of the day kind of has to act accordingly.
Yeah.
Um, if we are in a hotel, then I will have non-refrigerated, you know, like perishable items that I can bring and use, whether that be like nuts and fruit,
Hmm.
granola bars, having some sort of plan in place.
Hmm.
Um, Also too, like the simple things. So maybe like being realistic about it, right? So maybe you're not going to the gym,
Hmm.
but you're taking a walk every morning or you're getting in your steps elsewhere.
Yeah. That's just as good for right now.
Right. I will bring a reusable water bottle
Yeah.
so that I drink my water. I will bring my supplements so that I still stay on track with my supplements.
Hmm.
Um, it could also be as simple as I will still fill out my check-in that week.
Yeah. 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 Yes. So what if you're not noticing a trend here with what Amanda's saying is, if you look at these things, they don't they're not astronomical.
No.
They're simple. Bring a water bottle. I'm getting my steps in because we're walking a lot. Yes, you're not
Mm.
going to the gym. That's okay. Some vacations don't have access to the gym. Some people like being away and just not even going to a gym because it's like a
Yeah,
reprieve. They're like, oh, I'm tired of the gym for a little bit.
absolutely. Which can be
Um,
great even from a goal standpoint too.
exactly. Mix it up a little bit. But
Absolutely.
like they're little. There's little nuggets there, literally little nuggets of pretty much how plans can work, and they're just so little things you can do because it's not that big. Like, oh, I'll bring granola bars. Well, you'll know these granola bars. Let's say they're the RX bars. You know the macros on that, and you can plan accordingly the rest of your day because you have those. These little things make big. What is it saying? You say little things make big results, something like that. I don't know. You've said it
Little
before.
actions, big results, something
Yes,
like that.
they,
Yeah,
they, yeah, yeah.
they get the point.
Because it's true. Those little actions when you're planning for a vacation
Right. And even
add up.
bounce to that too, like say you're someone that goes out and has 10 drinks a night,
Mhm.
and your realistic goal is to have 9 drinks instead of 10. That is fucking great.
Yeah, yes,
Because even if it's not moving the needle that much physiologically,
yeah.
mentally, you're showing yourself that it's possible and you're creating this new habit and this new relationship with alcohol. That's
Hmm.
like an upgraded version of maybe the one that you have now.
Yeah.
So it's not just the little things matter over time.
Hmm.
And even just going off of that too, like I was having this conversation with a client this morning who um is going to be cutting out alcohol for a little while.
Hmm.
And I was like, remember, like, this isn't something that you have to do. This is something that you get to do.
Hmm.
Like, we forget that there's actually benefits, that we're actually gaining something from, not doing something else. Like,
Hmm.
we're not actually giving up something. We're just making room for other things.
Yeah.
And maybe it's not things that are like familiar to us and we haven't maybe experienced them yet. Like maybe you've never experienced a vacation where you haven't drank the whole time.
Hmm.
You don't know if it's going to be bad or good because you've never done it.
It's true.
So,
That's all you
like, what
know.
if you're creating room for like other experiences and things that you haven't had before?
Yeah.
And, you know, there's always going to be another weekend, another vacation, another thing, like,
we we talked
depending.
about just the drink aspect of it because we talked about it with John when he was on, and
Yeah.
how like when he did sober April it was, I believe, how he found different things that he liked to do to meet up with people and all that stuff that was a little bit different, but it was still
Mhm.
enjoyable. And that could be the
Right.
same thing for you on vacation. Like if you've never done something before and it's going to be different to you, like maybe you're going to go on vacation and only cook home cooked meals, we'll say,
Right.
because you got Airbnb, whatever, you have a full kitchen. You can only, and you're like, "Oh, that's not going to be fun. How could that not be fun? You don't know. Like
Yeah.
you could have a
You
home
don't
cooked
have
meal
other
and then play.
responsibilities. You might
Yeah,
like cooking.
exactly. You could
Yeah.
play games with your family afterwards. Because some people, when they go out to dinner, we all indulge, and then we're so tired we don't want to do anything afterwards.
Hmm.
Like maybe
Yes.
there's like you're saying, there's different avenues sometimes that can come present themselves without us realizing because we're just so caught up in doing what we know as
Yes.
opposed to of being okay with change and trying different things when we're on vacation to help us succeed and not feel like we didn't get a vacation and
Right.
just and go through the motions.
Right. Yeah. And like, I think it creates a different relationship with it in the long run.
Hmm. Oh yeah.
Something like alcohol, food, right? You appreciate it even more after that. You can add it back in this like really in this way that really supports you and feels the
Mhm.
best for you.
Yeah.
Sometimes stepping away from things or trying different things allows us to actually figure out what we like and what we want versus like what coming back to what society tells us we need to do, which is like go all out and drink and stay up all night. And, you know, listen, I do it from time to time. We all do, but like at the
Yes.
same time, does it always feel good? No.
Yeah.
And I think everyone needs to like have a chance to find their balance with it to really create a healthy relationship with it.
And it's the key is finding the balance. Let's
Hmm.
say you take 5 days, you're on vacation for 5 days. Most people will say if it's a summer long vacation to the beach or something, usually it's about 5 days. So maybe it's 3 days or 2 days that you're like, we'll say old self, but you do all the same things you've ever done. And then you
Hmm.
do the other 3 days, different things. Like
Yeah,
plan a little bit better. You do all
that's
this.
cool.
Like it's not an absolute type thing. Like, because like Amanda said, from time to time, she does this. From time to time, I do that. Like, yes, I ate when we were just in Cape Cod not that long ago. I ate more fried food than I ever wanted to eat. I remember saying to Leanne, I was like, "Can we just find somewhere that has like grilled
Such
scallion
a
something?
crave.
Like, please?" And she's like, "Yeah, no, I know." Because she had I mean, she's different. She had a very successful Cape Cod trip, I would say,
Yeah.
with the little things she had to watch out for. But it's like we had some days where we're like, okay, it actually made it kind of interesting because I was like, Leanne, where can we go? She's like, well, I can have food here, here, and here. And I'm like, okay, well, let me look if I even want this food because maybe I don't, but I did usually.
Yeah.
But it's you have that option. Like I said, time to time, it's okay to do what you want to do, no matter what. But those times where like you'll realize, like, okay, I want 2 nights of raging hard, like 3 a.m. Who knows what I was doing? Like music festival vibes, like killing it. And then the rest of the time I want to chill, go hike, and do these other things and
Yeah.
take like drink a bunch of water and go to bed early. That's fine
Hmm.
too. It doesn't have to be like that all or nothing. There's always from time to time different options you can do. It's just the point we're trying to drive home to you guys is your vacation should feel relaxing and you should have that feeling of not dread, not coming home and be like, man, I'm so bloated from vacation. I'm miserable. I have to like go on a cleanse so I can like lose all the weight I lost from vacation. Like what? You were just bloated. Drink some more water. You're fine. Like chill out. You really didn't gain that much weight from vacation. It's a week of extra calories, if that. If that. Because
Yeah. And most of the time these girlies are under eaten anyway. I mean,
yeah. Well,
guys too.
the
So it's
other
not even the
aspect
worst thing
is
in the world.
activity. What'd you say?
So it's not even the worst thing in the world.
No, because you need that food. But like the other thing too is people don't realize how active they are on vacation, unless they're literally just hanging out on the beach the whole time and don't move. Like you have like a cabana on the beach. Well, then you probably don't move. But you do a lot more than you think you do. So don't always freak out like, oh, I didn't work out. Like Amanda said, your steps, you may still get them in without even realizing.
Mhm.
You go to a museum, uh, like we went to the whatever museum's in Chicago, I forget the name of it. We walked a crap ton. We didn't plan it terrible planning on our part because we uh we had no snacks with us. So we were starving halfway through the day, and Leanne and I are people who get hungry very fast. And so we've been walking a lot, and I was like, oh
You
man.
guys are the best type of people to vacation with. The worst is when you're on vacation with someone and they are not hungry all day long.
Oh. Oh, that stresses me. I'm sorry, that stresses me out. Because like I don't want to be that person. Like, hey, well, actually, I got used to being that person, but like, no one wants to be like, oh, I'm starving, and this other
Yeah.
person's
Oh, I'm always that person. I'm like, you
yeah,
guys are hungry.
yeah, exactly. And you just keep saying it until someone's like, hey, like, all right, let's go get food. I'm like,
Travel with two other nutritionists, that was the easiest traveling I've ever done.
oh, I
Every
could imagine
everyone ate, everyone got their meals in, everyone was it was so funny.
this. So that does make a difference. It
Yeah.
who your company you travel with is.
Yeah,
If you
it does make a difference too. It can be harder with some people, easier with others.
Mhm.
Which is again, if this happens, then I will, right? Make
Yes,
a backup plan. Like just
yeah.
understand your environment and your circumstances and how you can best um, you know, uh allow yourself to be successful.
Well, because like you said, for people planning, if then I will, let's say you're going on vacation with your best friend and they just don't eat. They're somebody whose hunger signals just don't exist for some random reason.
Mhm.
That's going to happen. You spent the last 10 years dealing with this.
Yeah.
Bring something with you that's going
Yes.
to hold you over.
Hmm.
So, because that's going to happen. So it's not like you don't want to bother them and be like, oh, I'm so hungry and feel like that guilt of like, oh, maybe I'm throwing off everyone's plans. But you're still successful in the aspect of you're getting your nutrients in.
Yeah.
You're getting your macros in. There's
Mhm.
ways. I think the best way to phrase what like traveling comes down to for success is knowing what you want and then making a small plan, not this grandiose like all right like roadmap of like if then
Visual, yeah.
yeah like
Intentions,
yes.
simple actions.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's very straightforward in that aspect. What do I want after out of my vacation? How I'm going to succeed at getting there?
Mhm.
You know?
And reminding yourself, I get to do this. I get
Hmm.
to feel good over this vacation. I get to make these choices. That
Yeah,
just that simple shift alone,
yeah.
goes a
Very,
really, yeah.
very small shift that you need to make, and you can help yourself set yourself up for success with vacationing, without feeling like you coming home and needing a vacation.
Yeah.
'Cause
The
just
worst.
that literally is the worst feeling in the world
Yep.
because like, well, didn't I just go on vacation? Who does want to do that?
Yeah.
Um, so to wrap up this awesome conversation, as we were saying before, Amanda hit on so many points of how to help you succeed while you're on vacation to make yourself not feel guilty, not feel like you're trapped, not feel like you need that vacation from a vacation. And it's a lot of it can be summarized in planning and intentions.
There you go.
Very simple.
Love it.
Very
We
simple.
love
And
traveling.
yes, traveling's great. We do it a lot. I've done it more in the last few years than I've ever done. I know Amanda does it a lot too. Amanda's all over the place. I think she's back in home.
Yeah, I'm in Denver.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, I think you are, but then I don't know. So as always, Amanda, a wonderful conversation. Remember, if you're traveling, don't stress it. The point is to have a fun vacation, enjoy yourself, figure out what you want to do and how you want to feel, and then plan accordingly. And that can be something so simple as drinking one less night or having one less drink a night, whatever
Hmm.
that may be. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple, please like or comment. Tell your friends so we can grow the pod more. And until next time, it's been another great episode.